What's up, guys? How is everyone doing? The red light is on. Dave Van Auken, the Dave Van Auken Show. All right, here we go. Pumped. Talking with him once again. Talking about the undefeated 6-0, soon to be looking for that 7-0 Bellator 282, June 24th. It's around the corner. It's coming up really soon. Guys, one of our favorites here on the podcast. Let's talk with the undefeated featherweight, 27 years young. My guy, Cody Law. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How's life going? Life's good?
Life's good, man. Just, waiting. Right now, I'm in that weird place where it's just kind of sitting around waiting to leave.
Right. It's kind of the camp is over in a way, right? All the meat and potatoes is done. Maybe a little cardio, maybe a little weight at this time. But yeah, around the corner. We're like 10, 12 days away. Nice Bellator pay-per-view. It's around it. It's coming.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just ready to get on the road. Once I'm in Connecticut, I'll feel a lot better.
There you go. All right. So much. There's so much I do want to talk to you about. This kind of stick right there, Bellator 282. Saw a really cool picture. I don't know if it was yourself or I think it was actually American Top Team posted it. Just a very cool full card of you, Bellator 282. You got the main eventer. You got Evelyn. You got co-main event. You got Danny Sabatello, who's like right now the darling of Bellator right now. He's doing his thing. Yourself. I think there's even more. How is it to have like literally a team aspect? MMA, you lock the cage and it's just you. It's one-on-one, but it is a little bit of a team. It feels like you guys are going there to Connecticut to get the job done.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. We got 6 people. It's Johnny, Danny, Sabah, me, Shabili, and Keely's Mota are all on there. So then we also got like who knows how many coaches. We'll have Artem, Mike, Mo, Pitbull. I don't even know who else. A lot of guys are going to be there, and it's fun. I was telling some people my pro debut was similar to this. I had Johnny, Sabah, Dalton, Rasta, me, and somebody else. I think we're all on the card together. So it's kind of nice. It's like it's like being home field advantage because I fought there. Like this is my 5th fight in Mohegan, and now I have my whole team there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I know Lambert's a big time professional wrestler guy. Probably I might age myself a little bit, but like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they had like this Lex Luger. They called it the Lex Express. They got this really huge bus and they put all these guys on, all these wrestlers on it. Like American Time, like you guys should rent a plane, a private jet, or your own bus. You guys should commute together. Like, let's go.
Dude, if there wasn't this COVID protocol stuff, I think we would.
Wait, Bellator's still doing that?
Yeah, well, we still got to get there on Monday and test and quarantine. And unfortunately, it's otherwise. I think we probably would do something kind of maybe
together.
Something different. Yeah, we could get a house together or something out there.
I definitely don't want to talk bad. I know Bellator has been tremendous to you. We've talked on air. We talked off air about it. Everything is going the law plan, right? Like you've been. Yeah. So many fighters say, hey, even on interviews, and I talk to them behind the scenes, and they say, yeah, I want to fight 3 times a year or 4 times a year, or they even have this diagram. I want to fight once in the summer, once in fall, whatever they make it. You are the man that I've talked to for multiple years now, and you're like, Dave, I want this, this, and this. And like literally it's been going almost per date, like per diem, you want something before the birthday, you want something after a birthday, like you're just on point. And Bellator has been a great partner with you about, so I don't want to, talk bad at all about him, but that is wild about that. But it is crazy. Your plan has been working to a T.
Yeah, dude, I'm very lucky. I think it's a lot of visualization that stuff comes through, but I'm glad that they worked with me so well, Literally almost I don't think there's been a time yet where I've asked for a fight and they've said no. I think maybe this most recent time I was trying to fight at a different date because I thought it might be out here in Florida. And they told me no. They said we want you to fight June 24th instead. And good thing they did because that card didn't even happen. So it got pushed back, I think, and now it's not in Florida anymore. So this worked out pretty well. It's been awesome, man. This is my 7th fight in a year and a half. So I'm averaging about 4 a year. Which is pretty good,
Oh, that's insane. Like Cody, like especially at high level, we're talking about this is the highest of highs. Yourself and PFL and Bellator and UFC. Yeah. No one goes 4 times a year anymore. Like, and when Falalo down there at Sanford MMA, he's doing it, and he's like being, he's crowned this, fighting championship, and you're kind of doing it, and no one's really talking about it. And that's what I mean. It's amazing. It's been 18, 20 months, and you're pushing, James Gonzalez to be 7-0. So it's crazy. You did say something about visualization literally during your thing, and come on, like we haven't talked about it on air, so I got to bring it up. I even talked to your agent about it, just how crazy you literally write down the round, the time. We posted something on Fight Bananas about it. Like, even in your head, in your wildest dreams, you go like, wait, did I do this? Did I just call the mystic? Like, did you really think about it afterwards? Or was it a long process of you like, wait, did I actually nail this?
Dude, honestly, not really. I was telling people like, it's not really that crazy to me because I'm so used to this kind of stuff happening that it was like, oh, nice. It was more of like a nice, like I just won something, but it wasn't anything like, oh my God, craziest thing ever. It ended up being good for me. Got a lot of traction and stuff, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. These things I believe in them. So if you believe in something, are you really surprised? If you believe you're going to win, are you surprised when you win? I believe in this kind of stuff. And so when it happened, it was a nice little like, not affirmation, but it reaffirmed my beliefs a little bit,
Really did. And like you said, I'm going to double down on what you just said too. Like you really got a lot of traction. You know how much I respect and admire you as a person, just your skills inside that cage. But I feel like sometimes other media outlets or other media people hasn't really picked up on this Cody Law story yet. And I was just from afar, I was pretty pumped for you because you got a lot of traction. You were everywhere that week. And even that night, it was just kind of like some nights on a fight card, not even the main event could be the story of the night. And it seemed like for that Bellator show, you were the story of the night with the calling of the time. So it was cool from afar to see that you did get that much traction. And was that just a little bit of a cherry on top for you? Be like, oh, this is cool. I'm digging this a little.
Yeah, it was cool, man. That's another thing I've imagined. I've imagined having big performances and being on a bunch of media stuff and kind of having that moment. And I think I'll have a lot more. So I'm not looking back on it too much,
Right. Who would be someone that you would love to talk to for 20, 25 minutes and this? It doesn't even have to be in the MMA space. It could be, just a Bob Costas type. It could be just someone out there or someone that you've been a fan of growing up. You're like, man, I would love just to sit on a couch with them 20, 25 minutes, some kind of media type.
I mean, does Joe Rogan podcast count? I think that would be, that would be it. Yeah, that would be the one. That's the podcast I've listened to the most.
Okay.
I've imagined that one a lot, so I'm waiting for that day to happen.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Joe doesn't talk for 25 minutes. That goes for 3 hours.
Yeah. 3 hours. I know. That's why I have a lot of work to do. I need to give him 3 hours worth to talk about,
Well, here's another really cool topic. Same thing. It's happened months ago, but we haven't talked, so I definitely wanted to bring it up. Same thing. All the time we talked, it was really cool to see how much love and how much support that you do have with your family. And that video came up. First Round Management looked like they did something with the video with your mom getting a car, and it's something you've always wanted and dreamed of, and just how everything's set up. The video just was amazing. Here's a minute or two to talk about it. How did it get set up? Was it something you wanted to video, or was it First Round Management saying, hey, Cody, this is awesome, let's do it? How did that come together?
Yeah, I didn't really want to do it. It was after my fight, Malky FaceTimed me like literally like 30 minutes later. I'm in the back. I just put my suit back on, and Malky's on FaceTime, and we were talking a little bit. And I told him like, "Hey, bro, by the way, like I bought my mom like her dream car, And right away he's like, "Oh, we're sending people out. They're gonna videotape it." I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, like whatever." He's like, "No," because Abe was there. He's like, "Tell Abe right now that I said that. We're gonna make it happen." And I was just kind of like, I don't even know if I told Abe or not, but in the back of my head, I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to put this out there. You know what I mean? I didn't know what kind of. I don't want to be the guy who's like, look at me with that kind of stuff. I want my fighting to do that.
Sure.
But then it ended up being a good thing. I think they sent some Will out to film it, and it was a cool experience. And the video obviously turned out pretty cool. And I think it was good just because it got to show people a different side of me. Because all you ever see really is like I fight. Do these interviews, we talk about fighting, but that kind of showed maybe a little bit more of a personal aspect of who I am as a person, more than just an athlete.
Yeah. So funny you said that. I just so I do a podcast now with Jillian Robertson, and we actually had one of her best friends on, Hannah Goldie, both in the UFC fight and doing their thing. And we just had a ton of fan questions come in, and like it was so much about like fear and so much about fighting and what do you think forward to fighting to, and like they just kept on doubling down something you just said, like we're a fighter, right? But like in a bank accountant, whoever, or a mailman doesn't go home and just talk all day about a mailman or being a bank accountant or a teacher. Like they have their other hobbies and other likes and their family and whatever, and they just kept on talking about that. Something you just said, it's like,
Yeah.
Yes, you are a fighter, but like Cody Law, like you know what I mean? Like you got other hobbies, other things you'd like to do, like to see. And I know you do. You like boxing. I think you're a Star Wars guy, right? Aren't you?
Yeah, man, I like Star Wars. I like the original Star Wars a lot better than the new Star Wars, but
Not a fan of the. You have been watching the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus?
yeah, I've been watching it. I was episode 3. I was really happy with because
Yes.
obviously like that's what I've been waiting for, man. Like we've been waiting to see what happens between episode 3 and 4, and
Yep.
we want all this stuff. So that was exciting, but I'm unhappy with they're doing the same thing they did to Luke in the new trilogy, where they kind of destroyed Luke in the new trilogy a bit. He was just like some sulking
Yep.
guy, blah blah blah. And in Obi-Wan here, they're kind of making him out to be a bit of like a bumbling idiot. He has a 10-year-old girl leading him around, telling him what to do, and he's like, oh, he doesn't know what's going on. I'm like, come on, dude. No, we have 6 episodes to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and so far the majority of it is him kind of being lost.
Right. Such a good point. It's so fun. So I'm talking to Grant Dawson. We brought you up about it because he's huge into it. And we're talking daily, weekly when the show drops. 1,000% right. Like maybe the first episode or maybe half the episode of Obi-Wan, being lost and trying to become who Obi-Wan was and all that stuff. We get that. But like, it's been now, I saw episode 4 and no spoilers out there, but it's like, he's still just this, like, come on, like, dude, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, this is the one who taught Luke. Like, this is like one of the most, important, iconic characters. And they're humanizing them too much, I believe, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Disney is more, I feel like nowadays, they're more worried about let's check all the boxes, fit all the narratives, and forget the storyline. Like, people care about the narratives nowadays. The story is what we care about. Obi-Wan's still using a blaster. Why is he shooting people with a blaster? He's a Jedi. He uses a lightsaber. We have 4 episodes out of 6, and he's used his lightsaber like 1 time. This is crazy.
It was. I was impressed with Darth. I was really loving that scene. I think you and I really did talk about this off air or on air once. It was so cool to see Darth just walk through that sand, and he's just choking people. He's yoking people out. He's running through people. He's the Cody Law of Bellator, Darth Vader. He's just running through people. So it was really cool to see that. That was the highlight so far.
That was the best part.
Yeah.
That scene, that Darth Vader scene was better than all 3 of the new movies combined.
I agree. No, it was good. I'm being Mandalorian's been amazing. That's been my favorite newest show. Boba Fett was good, but I've been really into Mandalorian. All right, another highlight. Oh, we'll talk Star Wars all day. It'll just be a 25-minute Star Wars podcast. I'm telling you, Grant Dawson, we're going to start this, and we'll just have people.
He's passionate, man.
Dude, he's good. He's good. Another one that's had a really highlight moment. American Top Team, and I know you've dealt. There was a lot of pictures and videos of Bo right before Bo's fight, so I know you guys had some, interactions with each other. He took over UFC Fight Pass, gets a 30-second knockout. He was all over the place. I talked to Jorge about it. Like the ratings of that show is one of the greatest ratings in UFC Fight Pass history. What do you think about what's your ribbon on Bo Nickal and the future for him? Is it just endless potential? Is he just the next guy in that division?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think there's really anything I can say that hasn't been said, right?
Right.
He's probably gonna win a few more pro fights, and I'd imagine go to the UFC and start cleaning house. He's getting better fast, and I think it's so good for his confidence too to get a knockout like that. Just to now he's gonna start to feel like he can strike. He's not gonna feel like he has to wrestle. Where a lot of wrestlers come into the sport, and I feel like they went off their wrestling for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 fights. And before you know it, they don't even – that's all they know. They're just, well, this is what I do. I wrestle guys. And then one fight comes along where they can't get the wrestling going the way they want, and all of a sudden they're lost, Now Bo's not going to have that problem, I don't think.
And, like, let me just go devil's advocate. And I'm actually, you know me, I'm a big Bo guy, big ATT guy, Jorge Masvidal's icon. I do a lot of stuff for them, blah, 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 blah. The devil's advocate of it, sooner or later, like, don't you, I would love to see Bo go for 2 rounds, right? You want to see him develop. The more time, I don't have to tell you this, the more time you spend inside that cage, you develop new things, you kind of gain self-confidence. It's just like you want your lungs to be burning maybe after 10 or 15. Would that be the only devil's advocate? You want to see Bo go multiple rounds soon. Like
definitely. Yeah, that's why I like an amateur route. But it would be hard for him to even get 3 rounds in the amateur route, because he's already pretty developed.
Yeah.
But eventually, he's going to fight somebody probably who he has to fight a little longer with. It's good to know. It's good to feel it. But he's got good conditioning. I mean, I don't think 3 rounds is going to be tough for him.
And man, Cody, he did the amateur thing, man. You were there. I was there. Remember, we were there in Pensacola. His second amateur fight, I literally commentated on, and it was crazy. They were just using that footage. It was cool to whoa. He's so big, and like I said, the ratings were so good, and that's great that he's captured so many of amateur wrestlers and college wrestlers. Don't have to tell you about that. And just like he really has got this big following, humongous following, and wherever he goes, if it is UFC or any other big platform, it's gonna be big. I think Bo's got a big 2022 ahead of him. Also, I know that we talked about it real quick early, and we'll kind of dive into it because I know you're a huge fan of it. And to me, over the last 6 weeks, Canelo losing a fight, Tank Davis knocking out people. We got Devin Hadley, doing this thing, like a lot of boxing. We even Tyson Fury won since the last time we talked. A lot of good boxing over the last 6 weeks, 2 months. Just anything really jump out at you? Are you really been into the boxing scene over the last couple of months?
Yeah, I've watched most of them. Obviously, I watched the Canelo fight. I think that was actually – I watched that. I had my laptop up with Canelo, and the UFC was on the TV.
Yeah.
And the Canelo fight happened right during the Rose Esparza fight. And so everyone was complaining about the fight, and I didn't watch it. So it was perfect. The whole time I was watching Canelo. I'd look up, see nothing was happening, look back down, watch Canelo. By the time it was over, I look on Twitter, and everyone's bitching about it. I'm like, well, I didn't even see it. Then I wanted to watch it just to see how bad it was. But the Canelo fight was interesting, man. I feel like he fell in love with the power a little bit, and he fought a guy that the power couldn't work. So even after the first or second round, I texted one of my coaches, and I said, I think Canelo's gonna get tired, and he kind of did get tired, because normally we've seen him as he's gotten bigger, he's throwing less and less punches. The first few rounds, he's really feeling guys out, and then a couple big shots, and later on he turns it up. Yep. I thought that was because he was, pacing for conditioning, because he's getting bigger. He throws a lot of big punches. This fight, he came out throwing the big punches often right away. And by the end, he looked like he was a bit tired. And he's not landing clean. He's taking some shots. Bivol good. He's big. I think to beat Bivol, he's gonna have to probably fight not to knock him out, but to win on points.
Right. Great insight there by Cody, for sure. 2 things going into that. One, now, they already announced the Triple G trilogy. 1, do you love that? And then 2, do you think he goes back up? Do you think Duvall, you think he's going to want to kind of get that L back? Do you see that being a rematch soon to be?
Dude, I think so. I think they're doing a really smart move here, right? Because a lot of guys go right into an immediate rematch. But I think sometimes it's better to get a win, get feeling good, get some confidence. And Triple G is kind of the perfect fight for him. Unfortunately, I really like Triple G. But he's getting older. And his last fight, he got the job done, but he wasn't looking like – he don't look the same. He's almost 40 now. I think Canelo's going to beat him, and that'll be like a good look. He just beat Triple G clearly this time. Now he can go back up and fight B-Ball again. And that fight's a 68 with Triple G, isn't it?
I believe so, right? Yeah. And that's that's his money weight, right? Like that's the
he's not cutting too much, but he's not oversized or undersized,
Right. It's
good fight for him.
I guess MMA analogy, to me, it's like Conor as a lightweight, featherweight can't make it anymore, just too old and rich and all that. Welterweight's probably too big. Like he keeps on throwing out some of those names, and some of these welterweights will take Conor's punch and will throw something back that he don't want. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely not, and he's gonna get tired.
Yeah,
He gets tired whenever
that's such a great point.
Now he's ballooned up. I mean, you don't. There's advantages to having more muscle, but an excess of extra muscle is not a good thing, especially when you already have conditioning issues. The last thing I think you want to do is put on weight,
Yeah.
I
totally agree. Some of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. I mean, Anderson Silva wasn't, just muscle bound, chiseled. John Jones's best prime 4 or 5 years, he looked very dad body. Let's be honest, like he was just clean. GSP was a little chiseled, but he's it's you don't need to look like a bodybuilder. It's a different sport,
Yeah.
All right. We did a lot. We went through Star Wars, we went through boxing, we got the family in. All right, Bellator 282. James Gonzalez, I believe this is his first fight in Bellator. We're going for 7-0. This is part of the plan. Just kind of same thing. Do you mind going 15 minutes? You just want to get a win? Don't care. Do you want to make a statement? You want to get some more public? What's the process of this fight? What's kind of going through your head right now? 10 days off.
I'm okay with 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm ready for 15 minutes. I don't think it's going to. I kind of do think I'm going to get him out of there. Just watching his tapes, he doesn't counterpunch too much and doesn't throw a whole lot of combinations. Kind of shies away, covers up a little bit, which is great for me.
Sure.
I just need one. I think one good right hand.
Right.
And but if it goes 15 minutes, I'm happy to go out there and pick a guy apart. I haven't got to show not even an eighth of what I could do, and I would love to get into a little bit more of my arsenal and show some different things. That would be exciting. But of course, I don't get paid by the minute, so if I get to knock him out in the first minute, that's great.
Yeah. It's like and just for the body, especially how much you're fighting too. It's one of these things. It's a beneficial to get in there, get out. Get a good weight cut. Do your thing, don't get hit 3 times and then boom, or, if you want September 15th, they got you September 15th. It just seems like it's part of the process, and it's helping that you haven't been in a war. Like you went 15, I believe once or twice, right?
Once. Yeah. Once, but I didn't
even that fight, it was more of a domination on your part.
Yeah, I was on top for most of the fight. I haven't been hit really yet in my professional career. The hardest punches I've ever taken were in my amateur boxing fights. But MMA, I haven't really.
Dalton Roston now as sparring.
What's that?
Or it was like Dalton Roster or Bo Nickal at ATT,
Yeah. No, see, I'm smart. I don't spar with those guys. I place a premium on my brain.
Oh, for sure. That's
very smart.
Very cool, my guy. All right, man. I've had you for 23 minutes. We'll let you roll. Appreciate you like always. Continue success. Any last things, anything you want to shout out or platforms, anything of that nature? The floor is yours, my guy.
Nope. Just tune in, June 24th, YouTube prelims. I think I'm on the prelims, so tune in. I think it's going to be a good show.
Very cool.
And thanks for having me.
I'm gonna make a call to Bellator, man. Like, come on. No, like prelims is great. We're a fan of the prelims. Like, come on. Let's go on Showtime. Showtime needs Cody Law.
Yeah, you know what? I got time, bro. YouTube is nice it's easier on me because I can just tell people, hey, it's free, just watch on YouTube. Because you wouldn't imagine how many people text me the day of.
Oh,
hey, bro, like what time you think you'll walk out? How can I watch? Blah blah. And I never respond because it's fight day. But and then after the fact, I'm always like, sorry guys, what can I do? Showtime will come, bro.
Yeah. Soon. Hey, man, it's 2022. Anything you need to know in the world, you go in that little Google bar and just type it in. Like, come on now. Like,
yeah, it's so easy.
Dude, you're the best, bro. We'll talk to you soon. 7-0, and be good. All right.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Later, brother.